You are watching 2+U Nevada. Joining us again this afternoon, Tom MacDonald with Mutual of Omaha Mortgage. Tom, thank you. You're continuing a discussion that we've had regarding reverse mortgages.
Correct.
And we're going to be talking today with a case study utilizing a home equity conversion mortgage. So kind of tell folks at home what we're talking about.
Well, the reverse mortgage, this particular one that we're going to use is an FHA insured reverse mortgage. It has a line of credit option. We're going to have a couple that don't need a reverse mortgage now, but they're thinking long term, and I'm going to show how that might be advantageous instead of, say, long-term care, which, you know, if they're in the 60s or 70s, it's hard to get and then very expensive.
Right.
But a large percent of the population over 60, something over 50%, there's a bigger number than that, are going to need some form of long-term care in their future.
And we're talking about a couple, again, this is just a case study of Jack and Jill. They're in their 60s and they do have a retirement. They also have a home that is paid for. They have no mortgage, they're not making monthly payments.
Right.
So let's talk about Jack and Jill. In this situation, they may not have planned for, let's say, excessive healthcare costs of maybe $10,000 a month.
That's what is running now in many places. I'm not exactly sure what it is currently, but
That's a sizable
I know
amount.
that when my mom was needing care, that's what we were paying.
All right. So with that, walk us through this case study. Their home is valued at $700,000.
Right. They're currently 70 years of age, both of them, Jack and Jill. They looked into long-term care, but they decided that, for starters, there's a number of limitations. You have to meet certain guidelines. And the reverse mortgage doesn't have restrictions. Once you start using it, you can use it for whatever you need in whatever form that you want to do. Their $700,000 house, they're going to get roughly, I think, $200,000 is what we calculated. Now, that doesn't seem like very much. Remember, it's just a mortgage. You're not giving up the home. So it's just a lien on the home. On a regular mortgage, you might get 80%. You're going to put 20% down perhaps. But on the reverse mortgage, because you're not making monthly mortgage payments, that balance is going to be growing over time. The interest gets added all the time. So that balance goes up. And so that's why that, what we call loan to value, how much you get versus the value of the home, isn't as much as you might expect. So
it sounds scary, but also we have to think that while the balance is going up, it is quite possible that the value of the home is also
that's fairly
increasing.
typical. They kind of look like that, except that 2008 time period. You know, things happen. But there is insurance to cover issues like that. So the borrower never has to make up the shortage. Neither they nor their heirs make up a shortage. The FHA insurance takes care of a shortage if there's a shortage. Most of the time, there's equity left over.
Wow. Okay. So with this example, their $700,000 value on a home with no mortgage. They have no immediate need today, but they've heard of this strategy. And 10 years later, Jack needs $10,000 a month for long-term care. So they initiate the term disbursements with enough funds to last just shy of 5 years.
Right, that's what they thought they would need.
Okay.
It may be, sadly, Jack might pass away in 2 years, so they don't need it for all that time. But that's what they set it up for. So if you see the graphic, you can see that big, what looks like a mountain. That's the line of credit growing over time. It grows at the same interest rate we're charging the borrower. Now, where it peaks is when Jack starts taking funds out at $10,000 a month, which is $120,000 a year. A lot of money. Remember, they have a retirement plan for their normal expenses, but there likely isn't enough to cover expenses like this. This is where the reverse mortgage and the line of credit option comes in. So now he's taking $120,000 a year. You can see in the second year, that taller green bar, that's the accumulation of 2 years, 240, all the way out to that fifth bar. And now at the end of 5 years, sadly, Jack does pass away. Okay. But at that point in time, Jill still has their retirement plan. They haven't dipped into it for all of Jack's extra expenses. And so now she can live out her life on their plan, on what they figured they could do.
With 1 minute left, and all of us think about our parents and as they're aging, and we want them to stay in their homes. But in this hypothetical situation, Jack passed away. What if Jill wants to downsize? Then what happens? And we have about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Again, it's just the mortgage. She owns the home. So she's going to sell the home. There's likely still to have equity in the home. So just like any other mortgage, put it on the market, gets sold, the seller puts money into escrow, the escrow officer pays off the mortgage and gives Jill what's left over.
Awesome. Tom, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Tom MacDonald with Mutual of Omaha Mortgage. His number is there on your screen. So if you have any questions about reverse mortgages and strategies surrounding that, give Tom a call. You're watching 2+U Nevada.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.